Oh, sweet mother of
Bacon!
Oh my God.
So, season 1 is over, and I would say maybe the Leviathan's awake. What do you think?
He shouldn't have double-crossed the
Yeah, he
people,
really
so
shouldn't.
he could have gone
But
with
he
them.
was doing his duty. He
But
was doing his job.
now what do you think happened to him?
He has been taken by the Protomolecule.
Exactly. So what's going to happen to him? Because
So what do you think?
the thing turned into
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what do you think
a
of what
person.
they like to call the fireflies? That's what people like to call the swarms that you see
It looked
around.
like a person.
Well, it looked like him. Did you notice
Oh
that?
my
It was
goodness.
mimicking him. So what do you think? What do you think the Protomolecule is at this point?
A very deadly weapon.
No, but I can see why you would think that.
I'm gonna ask you again this question. Do you think it's of? Do you think humans made that
No, I honestly think they found it.
on Phoebe?
They either found it by accident or I can't imagine how they got this.
Off the back of a truck.
Evidently, it's important to them that they're willing to kill a lot of people for it. Now, I would have blown up arrows, to be honest. I would have set off some detonators and everything and sent the torpedoes into it.
Probably the most effective way to deal with arrows, because like I said, Eros is one of the largest asteroids in our solar system.
But now that thing is loose,
It's
whatever it
pretty
is.
freaking big. So the only way you'd really be able to effectively get rid of Eros without risking somehow spreading the protomolecule would be to send it into the sun.
Yeah, because the thing is loose now.
The protomolecule, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it don't seem like space bothers it. So it can just travel on its merry little way.
You don't know how right you are.
And probably get the guy who's still floating in space.
Oh, Tioga. What do you think of the fact that that Miller knows that his friend was killed by Amos?
Well, we already know Miller's a killer. We already know Amos is a killer. So hopefully somebody's going to tell why he shot the friend. It might save his life.
Do you think? Sorry. Do you think Miller, especially after losing Julie and everything, do you think he's in the mental state where he would care what the reason was?
I'm not sure. But they got a bigger enemy. That whatever that little lights and stuff are. They got a big enemy.
You sure it's an enemy?
I don't know what it is. I know it takes a lot of lives to make it.
Are you sure it's a weapon?
It takes a lot of lives to make it.
It definitely requires
What they may call a sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, in order to develop, it needs something to grow. That's really what they meant by the only way we can learn is to let it learn.
Well, I mean,
does it learn? That's the other thing. I mean, what is it?
Well,
that's the big question going into season 2. What is the protomolecule?
Well, what is it learning? Because it just snatched a man.
Since when does a molecule have the ability to learn anything?
Well, it just snatched a man, and we don't know what's going to happen to him.
Hey, Dad!
Well, I know what's going to happen to him.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen to him. And he just snatched the spy. And even though I don't agree with what the spy did, I can't imagine what type of death.
Well, I was going to
say,
here's the thing, though. You say you don't know what's going to happen to him, but what have we seen happen to everybody who's been infected with the protomolecule so far?
But we didn't see these little fly things.
Oh, the fireflies? No, we did see them. Remember when Julie was drawing her last few breaths right before the crystals came out of her mouth?
Well, we saw the little thing come out.
We saw fireflies.
Oh,
right before she finally died. We saw
but we didn't see
fireflies.
We didn't see what it did. It looked like evaporated. But they shot her with something, so I don't know what that was.
They're pumping her with energy.
And they shot her in her stomach. So I don't
Yeah.
know whether whatever it is, it grows in her stomach.
I don't know why they did it. Shot her in her stomach. I think maybe it might just be the center of mass.
Aliens,
I
I'm
don't know.
telling you, they
But they're
need
definitely
human hosts.
they're pumping her full of energy.
They need human hosts.
And my guess is the reason they're doing that is because she is the oldest part of the sample at this point. You know what I mean? Like
They need human hosts, like
protomolecule that's
aliens.
inside of her is older than protomolecule growing in all the other people. So
what kind of mess is that?
it's pretty significant. Uh, where do you think the Rossi's headed? Sorry about that. Where do you think the Rossi's headed after all of this? Back to Tycho or somewhere else?
Or how many of them going to survive? They're on their way back to Tycho.
That'd be the most logical thing, I would assume.
To me.
So now Avasarala knows that there's a conspiracy going on. And
Yes, she
her
do.
boss is involved in it.
And it caused her to lose her friend and all that stuff. And probably her son, too. We just don't know how far back it goes.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
But, yeah, so she's playing a very dangerous game right now. It's interesting, I think, that she's sending her family away. Because
no, that's logical.
It's logical, but you would think it'd also be the kind of thing that her enemies would notice her doing and would make them realize that she...
You can come up with an excuse.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
You can say, there was an emergency and they had to go home.
Don't you find that a little suspicious?
And part of... Well, no, they
couldn't
live
go.
on Earth. They have a... with basically the equivalent of a summer home on the moon.
But I couldn't go at the time because we're in the middle of this type of stuff.
Do you think that she's because
she already told them she's having a problem with her friend's death.
Yeah, and she's playing up the sort of tired grandma kind of angle.
Yeah, I mean she.
Now it hasn't been brought up. I don't consider this a spoiler, but I think it will help sort of inform some of her interactions with Aaron Wright and somehow like he sees her. Aaron Wright was a student of hers. So,
her boss.
Yeah, her boss was a former student of hers. She used to teach university, like political science and all that stuff. And so she taught him when he was young, and then ended up working for him. So he has you'll notice that there's a certain element of like he has a lot of respect for her.
Mm-hmm.
But he sees her, I think, in a very specific way that makes it so that sometimes he probably underestimates her a little bit, even though he knows for a fact how intelligent she is and how capable she is. But I think he still sees her on some level a bit more personally than professionally, if that makes sense.
Well, hopefully he see how shrewd she is.
He may underestimate her to some degree because of that, or not underestimate her, but he might misinterpret certain things she does because of it. Because as you just said, the whole thing about her being upset about her friend.
That's what she told him, but they have seen a lot of things.
People who truly understood her would understand that even though she's upset by her friend, that's not going to affect anything.
She showed that earlier when she said, "Let's go on.
We can continue this later." And she's like, "We can continue this now."
See,
that's who she is. But I do think that there are a lot of people, not just Aaron Wright, who look at her and think, little old lady, you know what I mean? And that's something she can use. And that she also said she can play the part of someone who's old and stuck in the past and isn't able to adapt to the changing world and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we never underestimate
that's what people expect.
The mature or as some people say, the elder.
Well, you just have to realize that not everybody is what they appear to be, And if you
we've seen this through this whole series.
If you look at Avasarala and assume she is what she appears to be, then you're gonna be in a world of hurt because she'll have the knife in you before you even realize it. Probably.
I believe that it's probably somewhere in between all those clothes she be wearing.
She probably does carry an actual knife. Wouldn't be surprised. But yeah. So overall thoughts for the season.
Well, let's see. I believe they have given us an idea of the characters that are in play so far. We picked up a few extra stragglers. We also have some little nasty little bugs and all that stuff. We need to break out the raid for them. I really honestly think,
Oh,
raid with some type of other
I was
stuff
gonna
in
say,
it,
Raid isn't gonna do
because
anything.
I don't know, they live on radiation and stuff. So
Raid is definitely not gonna do anything
I'm
about
not
the
sure what we
protomolecule. I'll
can
say that
use.
much right now.
I'm not sure what we can use, but there's got to be something.
Well, you remember what I said earlier about how, like, the great science fiction series, we usually give you a universe at a certain point, and then there'll be the stories about the thing that comes along that changes everything.
Well, it changed a lot, including the people that it was its host.
The
So
protomolecule is very interesting. Is a very interesting phenomenon,
I told you
and
it's like aliens. It lives off of its host.
well, you haven't
It
seen it.
incubates in its host.
So yeah, I mean, it's a shame that we can't get right into the meat of season 2, because the show just keeps getting better and better, and season 2 is freaking amazing. There's some huge moments in that
And
season.
plus, it's also the end of a day.
Mm-hmm.
So we really need to get some sleep.
Yeah, and that's
We've
what we're
done
gonna
this all day
do.
long.
We're not gonna continue the binge at this point, but we'll have to get back together and do season 2 soon, so that so we can get into that part of the story, because, like I said, it does get interesting. You learn a lot more about the protomolecule in season 2. You learn a lot more about the conspiracy behind what's happening right now on Eros.
And hopefully
and
we
elsewhere.
get to see Jane's father killed. And the Dr. Dresden.
James. Wait, you mean Julie's father?
Julie's father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, everybody gets a new name from me, but but
I thought
hopefully
you were talking about James Holden's father. I was like, wait a minute.
No,
First, which one? And second, why? What are we
hopefully
doing
we'll
his
see
parents?
some comeuppance for some of these people.
Yes. And no.
Because I have a problem with a man that I don't care how much he's trying to advance science, that could actually
whatever his
watch this
agenda
happen
is.
to his daughter. I don't care. I don't care about the tears. I don't care about anything.
So in the meantime, until we do get to watching season 2, I would say that the single biggest thing to think about in terms of just speculation is to ask yourself, focus on that question of what kind of stakes can drive a person to do the things we're seeing the people under Jules Pierre do.
But see, as far as I am concerned, there are no stakes that could be worth it. If a person is trying to live forever.
Yeah, that's a personal thing. I mean, and yeah, I would say that's just super selfish. But, like, can you imagine any kind of scenario in which a person would say, because you remember how, like,
well, Holden said something I found interesting.
Spock. Anyway, go ahead.
He said something about watching everyone he loves die.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me wonder.
Everything he cared about was dying. That's what he said.
It makes me wonder whether or not there's something that's going on Earth as far as the people's health, which we do not know about. And
so, like, maybe, like, this experiment is designed to save the human race?
I don't see how it can, though. All I saw was a whole bunch of little bugs, which I thought of either a fly swatter or some raid.
The fireflies aren't bugs.
They're not bugs because they turned into a person.
Think of them kind of like spores.
They turned into a person.
But spores that can be moved around, apparently.
But they need people to incubate. What kind of crap is that?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? Seems fairly advanced, depending on what it is exactly.
Dear, I've said too much.
But
well, see, I know he knows, and you guys probably know.
I do know,
but I don't know, and it's really starting to agitate me.
Protogen has a lot of stuff under their belt. Like, they even do security and stuff, which I think they kind of kept out of the show a little bit to avoid confusion. But yeah, Protogen has, like, a lot of research facilities. Like, they own Phoebe Station and all that kind of stuff. Phoebe's a moon. Remember what I said? So Phoebe's a natural moon of Uranus, but Protogen built a research station into the moon.
Well, whatever they did, they got a whole bunch of little flying things incubating in people.
Yeah, so
That's all I
this is
know.
a very important project to them, and I just like, because when I would watch other reaction channels, I would notice that people would immediately jump to just this sort of black and white view of the world. I mean, we can definitely look at what they're doing and say it's clearly wrong. You know what I mean?
Well, no, we can say it's clearly wrong. Which,
But their motives might not be evil from their perspective. Because I think a lot of people, especially younger people, I've noticed, because things are, a lot of the movies nowadays are more simplistic when it comes to good and evil. They
I don't
see
see
it.
a motive to justify what they've done.
But I want
I
you to
really
try to
don't.
think about like what kind of motive might seem justifiable to people. You know what I mean? Like what would make you willing to sacrifice 150,000 human beings?
But I don't
You know?
see anything that could justify it
Well, you remember,
at
like I said,
all.
what Spock said, because I can imagine one thing, it's like what Spock said, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. Like if someone came to me, if let's say if
No,
there were some sort of God, right, and he was like, I will spare the entire human race and give them happiness, unending tranquility, bliss, free of disease, age, blah blah blah, and all you have to do is kill one person.
no,
You honestly wouldn't kill one person to save
no,
7.5 billion people.
no.
That's irrational. And so I guess I'd probably be the one most likely to be a mad scientist in the family, because I'd be like, I will save everyone with my amazing monster, but
No,
first
he'd
I
say,
must test my
he would say,
amazing
"Come
monster.
here, Mom," and then next thing you know, I'm history.
No, because if I were offered that thing and knew for a fact that it honestly was true, think about it. I'm one person. I just kill myself. That's what I
They
do.
wouldn't accept that. You'd have to kill
Eh.
somebody else.
Hey, if they don't stipulate it, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go the fairy route. I'll take you literally, and
And then they'll
you say one
offer it.
person, it'll be one person.
Then
It's just
they'll
like
offer it to someone else to do.
it's just like there's a meme I saw recently where it was like some it shows like a little baby bunny rabbit, and it's like someone comes up to you and offers you like $20 billion, and all you have to do is step on this poor little guy.
No,
What do you do? And if someone responded, "Hey fam, they didn't say I had to kill it, so I'm gonna low key just boot my little friend here on the head with the bottom of my shoe and collect my 20 billion." Because there you go, loopholes. That's what you
loophole.
do. They didn't specifically say you had to kill the bunny. They just said you had to step on it. And step on it doesn't mean you have to step on it hard enough to kill it. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing.
Well, I'm
Anyway,
not sure what's
here
going
we
to
go
happen.
off on a
That's
massive
why.
tangent. That happens all the time. But
How did we end up here?
yeah. So the big takeaway. I'm just glad that you enjoyed it.
I
It
really
literally
did.
took me over a year of convincing to get her to
I've
watch
watched
this.
other things with them,
And it
okay?
takes me over a year every single time. She knows I only bring her quality stuff, but it always takes at least a year of me bugging her about it.
I am still
before she'll
getting
finally
over
get
the
it.
ending
So
of Lost.
the ending of Lost was fine.
It was
It's
not.
weird to me that you dislike the ending
I
of
did
Lost, considering
dislike
that you're
the
all like
ending,
super religious and
and
everything.
I
Like that.
enjoyed the whole.
Totally the ending I would have expected you to like, considering.
There are movies, and we've seen several, what I consider a
Stay
suck
focused.
ending.
Stay focused.
And I'm hoping that
That's Lost.
Expanse is not one of
That's not this.
those.
I don't think so, considering what because I guess considering what I know of where the story is going so far, I don't see this having an end. I mean, I don't know if it'll be an ending you consider super satisfying when it finally gets around to it, but I don't see it having a metaphysical ending.
Well,
if
we
that
will
makes sense,
see.
or like a big debatable ending. I think it'll just, well, I don't know. You'll get a better feel for
We
where
will
it's going.
see. But it's time for us to go.
Yep, sure is. Well, so hey, again, thanks guys for watching the videos. I really appreciate you patronizing my channel. That's the only reason to do these things, is for people to come and enjoy it, and I hope that you guys do enjoy it. It's a big, nice treat for me to have my mom in on these things. Having someone
For
to
me too.
bounce off against on stuff always makes the reactions a little more fun. And so click like, subscribe, all that good stuff, so that you can see more random shenanigans from us, and have yourselves a great one. And also, remember to support The Expanse. It is a great show. Go out and buy it. Subscribe to Amazon or whatever so you can see season 4. because great science fiction is rare.
Yes, it is.
It has a hard time surviving on American television, and we need to do what we can to make sure that it sticks around when a good show like this comes around, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna put my soapbox away now and say goodbye. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye bye.